Hey guys, Pastor Spanglish here. How you doing? God bless you. So in Jude chapter 1, there's only one chapter in the book of Jude, verse 9, it talks about Michael having disputing the body of Moses with Satan. And I was thinking about this, and I want to propose to you, first of all, that God did that for our own benefit. And he also did that because he's a jealous God and he doesn't give his glory to anyone. So the body of Moses, what we know about the body of Moses is in Deuteronomy 34, starting in verse 5, it says that Moses died in Moab. Moab, so to say, was the last spot, the last stop before going into the promised land. And it says in verse 6 that God himself buried him, that nobody else knew. And even though he got buried, God buried him somewhere, the people still mourn him for 30 days. And God didn't allow him to go into the promised land because of his one act of disobedience that he had. That is found in Numbers 20. So what happened there is that the people came to Moses. They were yelling at him. They were heckling. They were complaining. But they were also not complaining so much at Moses or because of Moses, but they were complaining to God. They didn't believe God despite all the wonderful, incredible things that he did for them. They didn't believe God. And Moses at that time, he was angry, like, why are you coming to me? Talk to him, you guys. You talk to him. So Moses, he seeks the Lord. The Lord then tells him, grab Aaron, grab your staff, and talk to that rock there in Midian, in the plains of Midian. So he takes Aaron, his staff, and he takes the people. And he's not happy with Israel. And he gets angry. And instead of speaking to the rock, he strikes it twice. The water comes out, but God was angry at him because he was disobedient and also because of disbelief. See, God prefers obedience than sacrifice. And he says to Moses, because you didn't believe me and because you didn't give me the chance to display my glory and holiness to the people, I am angry at you. And it was because of that reason that he couldn't cross over into the promised land. So I want to propose to you that God was the one that buried Moses because he knows us. And he knew that had the people known, they would have worshipped, they would have built altar, they would have burnt incense there at his tomb. He would have known that. How do I know? In 2 Kings 18:4, it talks about Hezekiah. He's a king of Judah. And he was a righteous king that followed in the footsteps of his father David. And he did right in the sight of God. And one thing that he did there was to tear down the altars of Baal, of Ashtoreth. And it says there that there was an altar for the bronze serpent. The same bronze serpent that Moses lifted up in Numbers 21, that people that were bitten because of their complaining and unbelief, that they were bitten by a snake, if they will see the snake lifted up, they will get healed. Now, that snake, that pole, is a prophetic picture when Jesus went up on the cross and died for us. And that we behold him, we also get healed. But God was also angry at Moses because he didn't speak to the rock. He struck it twice. So in one way, we lost that law of first mention. In the New Testament, in Matthew, I don't call it, sorry, in the book of Matthew and John, it says that Jesus is talking to his disciple and says, speak to the mountain and it will go into the ocean. But I believe had Moses spoken to the rock and come out the water, that would have been where it's first mentioned, to speak into a situation for us to get a good outcome. Nevertheless, Jesus told us, speak to the mountain and it will obey you. In Romans chapter 1:25, it says that that people, they worship creatures, created things, and that they forget about the Creator. And that's what people did back then. And that's what a lot of people are doing nowadays. Let's get back to worshiping God, the Father. Let's be like Jesus, honoring the Father, looking to the Father. Let's be like him. And if you ever wonder why Michael was disputing with Satan over the body of Moses, now you know why. God bless you guys.